Okay, now let's look at some real world application. We have this word problem here. Last season, 2 running backs on the Steelers football team rushed a combined total of 1,550 yards. One of them rushed 4 times as many yards as the other. How many yards were rushed by each player? So let's identify some key components in this word problem. So first thing first, we know we have 2 running backs. That's the very first thing that's important. We have 2 running backs. So since we have 2 running backs, we know we're working with 2 different variables. So let's say that X is going to be running back 1, and let's say Y is going to be running back 2. Alright, so that's the very first piece of importance we have there. Now, as we continue to read, it says that both of these running backs together rushed a combined total of 1,550 yards. So that's saying if you combine the total number of yards that X running back 1 and Y running back 2 rushed together, you're going to get a combined total of 1,550. So we can use that information right there to write out our very first equation. Since we know that our first running back is X, and we know that our second running back is Y, we can add those two together because combinations mean adding. And together, their total is equal to 1,550. So we got our first equation. Very easy. Now, the next really important part says one of them rushed 4 times as many as the other one. So that means one of our players rushed 4 times the number of yards as the other player. So if we say player 1, who is X, player 1's total can be equal to 4 times player 2's total, running back 2's total. So we now have our second equation. So now we have a system. We have 2 equations that's going to give us a common solution. So now we have to use our steps and solve. So first thing first, we're going to look and see if we have an isolated equation. And we do. Here, X is by itself. So X is equal to a 4Y, right? So that means wherever we see X in the other equation, which is here, it gets replaced. So we rewrite this equation, we're going to get, instead of putting X right here, we're going to put 4Y. Alright? And then we can write the rest of our equation, which is plus Y equals to 1,550. And now we solve. We look for any distribution. We don't have any. Now we look to see if we can combine any like terms. Since we have a 4Y and a Y here, and they're on the exact same side, we can go ahead and combine these two to give us 5Y equals 1,550. Now, we're going to add or subtract any constants that we have. We don't have to complete this step because there aren't any extra constants on this side, and we have our one single constant that's on this side. So we've already accomplished the goal of having coefficients and variables on one side and our constant on the other side. So then the very last step would just be to divide by your coefficient. And Y is going to be equal to 310. Now, if we look back up here, it says Y is our running back 2. So this right here means that running back 2 rushed 310 yards. But we still don't know what happened, how many yards running back 1 has rushed. So we're going to complete our step 4 in our solving method by taking this number and plugging it back in. Okay, so we know that our isolated equation is x is equal to a 4y. Now, from here, we know that y is 310. So we're going to get that x is equal to 4 times 310. And that's going to give us 1240. So what this means is that x, which is our running back 1, running back 1, rush 1240 yards. Excuse me. 1240 yards.